Hello, my dear church boys, and welcome to Saint Robert's Daygame Pickup Podcast episode number 42. Today, let's talk about, how to live a really shitty, really boring life where you never really figured out what it is that you want to do, what it is that you like, what experiences you want to have, what adventures you want to go on. Or, if that's not your thing, let's talk about how to not live a life like that. And I will start this podcast episode with a story. Around a week, 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago in Latvia, we had a very big thing. We had this midsummer solstice, or we call it Ligo. It's a huge celebration, probably the biggest Latvian celebration, where everyone gets together with their friends and they rent places by the lakes, in the forest, by the rivers, somewhere far, far away from the city, as far as possible, as wild as possible. And they just enjoy drinking beer, grilling meat, eating cheese, doing drunk shit like skinny dipping, and seriously fucking in forests and things like that. It's the biggest Latvian tradition. And I went to celebrate with the usual gang, me, my friends, one Daygame friend from Lithuania with a few of his friends, and I took a chick with me. A chick I met a few years ago. She had a boyfriend. We slept once back then, never met again. But then, like a month ago, I saw her on the street and she looked really good. So I sent her a message, we started chatting, and we ended up going on a date again and been hanging out together ever since. I took her with me because I thought she's pretty amazing. I don't usually take chicks with me to events like that, but I decided I want to take her, and we had an amazing time there. It was just incredible. An incredible celebration till 4:30 in the morning. But the thing that happened and how I got to doing this topic for a podcast is I was there with a friend who is a day gamer, used to be a day gamer, probably will be a day gamer again, but he hasn't day gamed for a while, and he's in a shitty state in his life. And what happened was he got so drunk that he called my girl for a walk and tried to hit on her pretty aggressively. She came back, she told me about it, and that guy, who's a friend of mine, knowing me, disappeared. I saw him a few hours later, being completely drunk, not being able to walk, puking, and when he saw me, the first thing he asked is, are you gonna beat me up? Which, knowing that he's a friend, I didn't do, but if it was anyone else who wouldn't be a friend, I would definitely do that. The day later, he didn't remember any of that, and I told him what happened. He felt really shitty, and he called me on the next day, apologized, and a few days later we just got in a car and we're going to the beach to chill out with a friend we met from another country, and maybe with some chicks. And when we got in the car, I said, dude, we kind of have to talk about what happened. And I said, well, you did what you did while you were drunk, but let's be honest, people do dumb shit when they're drunk, because that's when they kind of lose their brakes, that's when they let go. So when a guy does something like that, when a guy tries to hit on his friend's girl just because he's too drunk, I understand that that's not because of his lack of legs recently, him not being able to go out on day game as much as he would like and as much as he should, overcome the fear, blah, 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 all of that shit. I understand that I told him most likely this is because you aren't in your life where you want to be right now, even though you're really successful in business. But I guess you're just really, really unhappy and really fucked up in your head recently because of everything that's been going on. And that's kind of why you tried to pull off shit like that. And he agreed. And we went to the beach, everything was fine. He understood that something's wrong, he has to do something with his life. Whether he will do it or not, I'm not even going to talk about that with him anymore. That's his life, and I don't try to save people from problems they've caused in their own lives. But we went to the beach, we had really great day there. Uh, we opened some chicks, we had great sets. I actually opened a chick there, realized we had to go, and I didn't close, but I didn't even know her name. She didn't know my name. But I go home, and she had found me on Instagram. We went on a date. I tied her up. It was like a great beach experience that led to more adventures. It was amazing. But on the way back from the beach, I was looking out the window of the car, and I was looking at all the cars and all the people in the cars, and how they all seemed so unhappy and so pissed off and kind of, I don't know, just plain. There was nothing special about it, or rather, nothing special about them. I started to think what it is that gives a person his or her worth, what it is that makes a person worth hanging out with, worth, I don't know, being friends, or worth doing anything. What makes a person interesting, or however you want to call it? How is the social world built? Thought, is it the status? Does the status actually mean something? Because, like everyone says, typically in a capitalist world it does, but then you want to say, oh, it's not the most important thing. And I was thinking, maybe it is, or maybe it's not. And I thought, well, actually, no, because people in high status places, they sometimes still are really unhappy, live really plain and boring lives. And yeah, actually, I think it's not about who's worth spending time with and hanging out with, it's who's the happiest and who to look up to for happiness. So I realized it's not status. I was thinking maybe it's money. And I saw different cars passing us, simple cars, really good cars. And I thought, I looked at the people and I thought, no, I know some really, really simple people that are really happy, living amazing lives. And I know rich people that live amazing lives, and I know rich people that live really shitty, unhappy lives. So I realized it's not that. Well, maybe it's family. Maybe it's having a family or not having a family. And I thought, well, not really. I know people with families, with kids that are pursuing their dreams, traveling the world, doing crazy shit, and being really happy. And I know people who are just in the comfort of their own home and still living pretty boring family lives. And I know that they kind of might think they're happy, but deep down, I think they really are not. Maybe it's being different from everyone else, having your thing, uh, whatever that is. Maybe that's what makes you happy. Maybe that's what's important. But I realized it's not really that. And I couldn't figure out what is the thing that makes people happy and interesting. And then I realized what it is. I realized it's true for me, and the happiest people I've met, it's also true for them. And all of my friends, they kind of fit in this category. They have this thing in their life. Those are the people I usually hang out with. And it wasn't status, money, family, standing out, or anything else like that. It's doing what you want with your life, knowing what it is that you actually want to do and fill your life with, and going and doing it. Most people don't even really know what they want. They've been raised in kind of put in a box when they were kids, and they got their serious job, they got their education, they got their job, and they've been in a field for a while. Maybe they're even really, really good at it. But the question is, are they really happy doing it? Is it what makes them wake up in the morning excited and with expectations? Oh my God, what is the day gonna be like? What is this day bringing? And knowing what they have to do and being excited about it. And the question is, what's the lifestyle they want to remember when they're old, when they live their life and they look back, what it is that they want to see they have done. People live really, really boring lives. They wake up, they go to a job, they sit there for, I don't know, 8, 10, 12, whatever hours. They finish their workday. Best case scenario, they go to a gym or other hobby they're doing. Worst case scenario, they go home, spend time with their wife that they're bored of, watch some Netflix, finish the evening with some Pornhub and a nice fap before going to sleep, and repeating the same shit the next day. This reminds me of a notification I have set on my phone once a month on every first Monday of the month. I ask myself a question. If you had unlimited funds, if you had so much money, you would never ever have to work for money again. But there is a rule that you have to keep working, you have to keep doing something. What would you do? I ask this once a month, and whenever I realize that I'm doing something in my business that I wouldn't do if I didn't need the money, if I didn't have to work ever again, if I realize there is anything I wouldn't do, I stop doing that. That's why sometimes I write more blog posts and then I realized, wait, I'm kind of doing them for business. I'm not doing them for fun. Then I stopped doing that as many blog posts. Then I was making short videos. I stopped making those short videos. I was chatting a lot in the group chat and answering many questions over and over again. And I realized I don't want to answer questions over and over again. I've answered them before, and to stop answering them, I created the daygamecourses.com, the online platform where we have several free online courses on Daygame. There is Texting Basics, which teaches you the basic texting. There's Texting Advanced, which teaches you some more in-depth texting. There's the Dating Basics, Dating Advanced. I created all of those courses, and Mr. T created the website just so that I wouldn't have to answer those questions, because I realized I'm not going to do that. If someone is too lazy to find the answer, I'm not the one who should spend my time answering their question. And if they don't have a time to watch those videos, they can always get a Skype call, ask those questions to me over Skype. Then my time is paid, and I'm more interested in helping guys over Skype rather than someone who is just too lazy to go over stuff that has been answered before. So very often, like once a month, maybe not every month, but very often I stop doing some stuff for business just because I realized it's not what makes me happy. A good business, a good thing to do for a living is something you would do for free, and that's how I try to look at my life. I think it's really, really important, if you want to be happy in your life about what you do, that you are not doing it for money, you're doing it because you are in love with it, you just love what you are doing, and it's partly the meaning of your life, even just because you're, I don't know, helping people or whatever. For me, it's helping people to figure out what it is they really want. That's why I coach Daygame, because guys are fucking horny, they're just hiding it from themselves, hiding it from the world. I like to help guys rediscover their horniness and then just get laid on. I just fucking love it. It's my passion in life. And people who live boring lives, at the same time, they see others. They're watching others do it. They're following someone on Instagram. They're listening to podcasts. They are looking at people daygaming, traveling, building interesting businesses. Because those people, they want to do that. They want to daygame. They want to travel. They want to build interesting businesses. They want to do some crazy shit because they want it, not because other people would like them to do so, or because chicks would like it. I love the story that the student recently told me. I coached a student in Prague, and because COVID started, he got stuck there for several months, and he started going to gym a lot. And he afterwards told me that 6 months or more ago, he decided that he's gonna work to get a six-pack, and he worked his ass off to get a six-pack. And that guy is like, in a few months, he got way bigger, has a six-pack, and he thought he did it so that chicks would jump on it. He is ripped. Chicks still don't give a fuck. But guys think it's important. Guys watch others do that. And it's kind of weird, in my opinion, to watch others do stuff and not do it for yourself, or to do something in your life just because you think that will make you more interesting, that will make you more interesting for chicks, and chicks will jump on it. I don't think that's a good motivation. And at the same time, when you talk about those people, you will hear that they are very negative towards other people that are successful in weird ways, or that are doing weird things and are really really good at it. For example, I know, because I train BJJ, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I know some pretty good, pretty high level MMA guys. And when you talk to someone who is not into martial arts and you talk about some MMA, and they say, yeah, but why the fuck would you do that? You fuck up your life, you're just getting your face smashed in. Well, yeah, but that person's passion, that MMA fighter's passion, his life is MMA. That's what he really, really, really wants to do with his life. Or maybe you are watching someone who's really good at bondage and puts it out on Instagram and isn't scared to show the world his or her passion, and they'll say, oh my god, that's so crazy, why the fuck would you do that? Oh, get a life, are you fucking weirdo, like fucking pervert? And that's what you hear people say. Or someone who gets tattoos, they're looking at people who get tattoos and they're like, oh, why the fuck would you do that? Oh, that's so disgusting. Or people who build weird businesses, like, oh my god, just get a job, live a normal life, what's wrong with you? And people who travel a lot, like when I left my apartment, when I canceled the lease, or when I canceled my rent agreement, and I just went living in Airbnbs, people just looked weird at me. They're like, what the fuck, why would you do that? Just, it's pretty good here, you have chicks here, you have business here, everything is good. But you hear those people that aren't doing what they want to do in their lives, you hear them judging everyone else, whether it's MMA fighters, people who like bondage, tattoos, weird business people, people who travel all the time, they don't have a one stable location, or whatever else. So first of all, they're not happy about what they do in their lives, but on top of that, they are very much judgmental towards everyone else who is doing what they want. And why is it so? It's very simple. If you judge other people who are doing what they want to do, then you are not the problem, because you not doing what you want to do in your life, well, that's normal, because those other people who are doing those crazy things, those are the crazy people. They are the ones in the wrong, and you are, or that person is the one in the right. Looking what makes other people so successful or so interesting sometimes gives you, or gives people, the wrong motivation to do something. They might want to get a six-pack just to get laid. And a friend recently asked me whether I think tattoos help you get laid. Well, if you help them to be a cooler guy, then probably not, because you did it for someone else. But if you get tattoos because you want them, and you explored what you want, you got a good master, you went and got tattoos because that's what you want for yourself, not because you want to stand out, be more interesting guy, be this cool dude, whatever. If that's the reason, if you did it for yourself just because you want it, yeah, then probably you will get laid more. It's the same with questions about drinking or not drinking on dates. I know day gamers who are not drinking on dates and getting laid a ton. Why aren't they drinking? Not because it's better for dates, because they are deeply into fitness and it's important for their lifestyle to not drink. They're not enjoying it. I like to have a drink now and then, whether on dates or with friends. I'm fine with it, and it's not my biggest priority to be super fit in life. So I can mix working out and working with my fitness and having a few drinks here and there, because then you have the guys who are not drinking and getting laid, and you have guys that are drinking and getting laid. And you might want to look at someone and know, oh, this is this crazy guy who like does drugs once in a while, and that's why chicks sleep with him. Well, is it? Will finding out more about drugs and experimenting with them get you laid? Probably not, if that's the reason you're doing it. If that's something you're interested in, that's a whole different topic. And obviously, a disclaimer, I'm not suggesting any of you do anything illegal or fuck with your health in any way. Don't be stupid. Again, next, BDSM and getting laid. Does getting into BDSM community get you laid more? Well, there are so many creeps trying to get in the community that aren't getting laid, and the only reason they're going there is just because they want to perv on the girls that are in the community, and it's a big red flag. You should never ever get in the community just to get laid more. or maybe you're exploring it just because chicks like it and you want to get laid more, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna be this BDSM guy and I'll get laid more. Well, that's the wrong reason, the wrong motivation. The big question is what it is that you want to do, not what someone else is telling you should do, or not what some motivational guys are saying you should do. You should like wake up at 5 a.m. and go running. Fuck that bullshit. The question is what you want to do. I remember working with a student in Toronto, Canada this January, and before we met, if I recall correctly, he had had one girl and he wanted to see what Daygame can bring to his life. But the idea was he wanted to learn Daygame, he wanted to get successful with chicks. And the idea was that if he can do that, then he can probably do a lot more. And what happened was, well, he got a same day delay on like third or fourth day of coaching with beautiful chick from I don't recall, like I think Brazil or Colombia, somewhere in South America. Uh, guy did really good in coaching. Got a few regulars. Obviously, then COVID started. But before COVID started, what happened was he handed in a resignation because he decided, "Fuck this! I'll build an online business. I'll go travel around the USA." And that's the story that's inspiring to me. He decided, "I'll see whether I can get good at girls," and once he saw he could, that inspired him to take his life to the next level, just do whatever the fuck he wants, start a business, go traveling, and just enjoy his life a little bit more. Or we have a guy in the group chat from Hollywood who became a diving instructor to live in exotic locations and teach diving to hot tourist chicks. Right now he teaches, if I'm not mistaken, he teaches diving in LA, is working on his diving instruction skills and plans to start traveling to teach diving soon. And if you are in the group chat, you know who I'm talking about. And the guy posts amazing lair reports, goes on crazy adventures. That dude is getting really good results. I'm really surprised. I'm really glad to see that. And not only to see his success with Daygame, but how he became a diving instructor and is working on this goal to just go travel the world. Or another example, you can look at me. I took up Daygame hobby, which really was just a hobby. I did it because I broke up with a chick and I was like, okay, where do I meet chicks? Tinder sucks. What the fuck do I do? And I daygamed. I met Tom Torero, and after asking about my stats and how I'm doing, he said, well, dude, with your stats, with your results, you have to fucking coach. Boom, I said, oh, I don't know, I'm not sure. And I went home and set up a website the same day and started coaching. I left my apartment in September last year and started traveling around. I did 6 months of traveling. I went to Prague, Belgium, Serbia, Romania, Toronto, Canada, Chicago, New York City, Prague a few more times, and then I came back to Riga. Got stuck there for a few months because of COVID, but in a little less than 2 weeks, I'm hopping on a plane again and going to the beautiful city of Budapest to coach a student from Malta. So, okay, I've been rambling for more than 20 minutes about how most people are pretty boring, live boring lives, and don't know what the fuck they want. I've explained to you that there are people who do know what they want, who are chasing their dreams, and you might be sitting and thinking, okay, yeah, well, it's all nice, but I don't really know what I want, and how the fuck do I figure it out, or how the fuck do I start doing this, because I have my responsibilities, I have my 9-to-5 job, I'm really good at it, blah, 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 blah. So how exactly do you figure out what it is that you actually want to do, and how do you start pursuing it? I am a big fan of life coaching. Not the cheesy type of life coaching, not the Tony Robbins type of shit. Not where some fuck is trying to inspire you, or where some motherfucker who's never done anything interesting in his life wrote a book and now he's like this spiritual guru or whatever. I'm not a fan of that bullshit. Or where someone with a good lifestyle is teaching or trying to teach you how to get where he has gotten, because that doesn't work. Like someone who is successful in life cannot teach you how to be successful, because we all have our habits and our way, uh, how we think and how we work. And what works for one person, someone who is extremely motivated, wakes up at 5 a.m., goes running, and he likes doing shit like that. And you take me, and I wake up, well, I still like to wake up at a certain time, but I have my morning routine, and I will not start waking up at 5 a.m. I'm not, even if it's like some really successful guy says, oh yeah, that's what you need to get successful. Well, fuck that, I'm not doing that. I don't think you should follow advice that doesn't really go together with how your brain works. In general, external inspiration is a short-term thing. When someone inspires you and like motivates you, or you watch a speech or read a book, it's a short-term thing that will run out one day and will not get you too far. So what about learning from someone who has made it? I don't think it's a good idea if you wanna build a lifestyle. If it's a skill you wanna acquire and he's really good at that skill, yes, then you should definitely learn from someone who is good at something. If you wanna learn Daygame, then well, learn from someone who's getting laid a lot and who's good at teaching, of course. But if it's a lifestyle, then I don't think you can learn it from someone. As I told, he might be someone who loves waking up early, you might be someone who works best at night. There are people like that. Will switching to his schedule work for you? Probably not. Or he might like trading stocks, you might like making videos. Should you learn to trade stocks just because of that? Well, obviously not. The type of life coaching I love, it helps you figure out what it is you really want and what is the best way to get there that would work for you. A good life coach will not teach you anything. He will only help you find your own way, find shit that will work in your case and probably will not apply to most people in the world. My passion has always been to help people figure out what it is that they want and help them get there. That's why I studied, I don't even know how many years ago, I studied life coaching at one of the world's largest life coaching organizations, Ericsson International. And that's why before I coached Daygame, I used to coach business owners and work with teams in small companies. Well, why did I do that? I realized the business owner keep fixing stuff their employees didn't do properly. The employees forgot to do something, they didn't know what to do, they fucked up or simply didn't do. And the business owners, instead of fulfilling their dreams, instead of working on building their business, doing what they want to do, because they are the business owners, they started the business to not work for someone else, and right now they're just doing the shit their employees did not do. They're kind of working for their employees. And I realized that fucking sucks. So I started working with the business owners and with the teams, so the teams would do their jobs and the business owner could focus on whatever it is that he or she wants to do. And that's why I coach Daygame, because deep down, guys are horny motherfuckers who want to get tons of hot young pussy. So how do you use life coaching or other resources to find your passion? First of all, people often think that you find something you're passionate about and then you start doing it and then you love and it's like amazing. But I think I've spoken about this in a previous podcast that it kind of happens the other way around. When you start doing something, after a while you develop passion for it. So the passion doesn't come first. Doing something comes first and passion comes afterwards. Still, you should probably find something interesting to start doing and then build a passion for it. You shouldn't start doing something that really bores the shit out of you with the hope that one day you'll get excited. So let's talk about a few ways you can find what it is that you could do, what are the experiences you could pursue in your life, or what are the businesses you could start, etc., etc. There are 2 free resources I can suggest you if you wanna start to think about what could be your passion. What really helped me was a blog called Live Your Legend. liveyourlegend.net. It was started by an amazing guy, Scott Dinsmore, who helped many people discover their passions, start their businesses, and that's actually how I have started some of my businesses. I couldn't figure out what it is I want to do. I Googled how to find a passion. I found his blog, and his blog took me on a journey. I figured out what it was, what it was that I wanted to do at the time. I found several other really good blogs that helped me build a product out of it and eventually start a business. So I highly suggest to check out Live Your Legend if you want to have a free resource. It's liveyourlegend.net. And the other thing I love is, well, many people think it's controversial, many people don't like it, but I'm a really big fan of Tim Ferriss, and I do love his book 4-Hour Workweek. Obviously, some of the ideas there are, or some of the methods rather than the ideas, some of the methods are outdated, and now you have way easier ways to build product, to start business. But the concepts that he teaches there, for example, how to work less in your current job, how to negotiate to work remotely, how to start a side hustle, how to figure out whether your side business could work, and how to build it into something bigger, those are all those things are really well covered in that book. So I highly suggest you check out Tim Ferriss's book 4-Hour Workweek, and his other books are pretty amazing as well, and his podcast is one of the podcasts I have been listening to for years. I used to love the free resources when I didn't have that much money, because I was kind of making the choice. Usually the choice is, do you want to spend your time and spend a lot of time, or do you want to spend your money? If you have a lot of time and you are limited on cash, then definitely check out liveyourlegend.net, check out 4-Hour Workweek. But the thing with books and courses and everything like that is they are made so that they can help many people. And usually when you do one-on-one work in life coaching, it's very nuanced, it's one-on-one. It's about you, and it's not about methods that could work for many people like in books, but it's about finding stuff that you are passionate about, asking you questions that will work in your case, and trying to find ideas that you would love and ways to fulfill them that would work into your daily schedule, into your habits, or maybe develop new habits that you need. So books are very broad and made so that they would work for many people, whereas one-on-one work is really that. It's one-on-one. When I work with my coach, the shit that we come up with, the solutions and ideas that I come up with, that I implement in my life, they work for me, but they would certainly not work for almost anyone else. And that is the value of one-on-one work. So if you're someone who prefers to save some time and get the job done faster, and if you want some one-on-one help, then just get on a Skype coaching call with me, and we'll talk about what it is that you want to achieve and how can we work together to get you there. The sad reality is guys have an idea about what they want, they have a plan, they have a dream, and one day they'll make the dream happen. They will live the life they want one day, but right now it's not the right time. Maybe they're too busy with something, maybe they have to do some other shit, they're too busy at work and they keep postponing it. Or maybe they're doing something, maybe they're going into the direction of their dreams slowly, and they've been going in that direction slowly for the last year, or maybe 5 years, maybe 10 years, and they are doing better than they were when they started, but it's just a little better. But they still live their average lives, and they're still not fully chasing the dreams they have, or maybe the dreams they once had. I don't want to live like that, and I don't want you to live like that. You know what you have to do to start moving in the right direction. Fucking pull the trigger and start chasing your dreams. Whatever you choose to do, I really hope you'll be happy with decisions you make now, a year from now. That's it, guys. I know this episode was not like the typical episodes where I tell you how to get laid in Daygame. This was more of a life coaching stuff and go get your shit done, but you have tools. I gave you tools to work on your dreams, to figure out what it is that you want, whether you want to do it to save money and spend some time with the free resources I told you about, or if you want to save some time and you are willing to invest some money. I really hope you do. With that being said, thank you for listening and have a great day, guys.